What's the word, y'all? Today we are joined by a man that needs no introduction, three-time NBA champion, one of the last OGs left, Udonis Haslem. Welcome to the show.
Boys so focused, you know this my trade day. From the logo like Dane Bay. Tell him I gotta go and get the money, good cause the money won't pay me. If anybody really think they no ballin' with please, tell him come to Bay me. Or you can go to YouTube and search Call Game, watch it on HD, yo.
And that's game. Now we want to welcome on the one and only Udonis Haslem. UD, what's up, man? Welcome to the show.
Kenny, what's going on, my brother? I appreciate you having me, man. I like the way you said one and only, too, when you introduced me. I like that.
Hey, you know, man. I've been a big fan for a long time. There's an old tweet out there. Hopefully they can find it for production. I was like, one of my number one people I want to talk to in the NBA world is Udonis Haslem, and here we are. We did it.
Man, well, I appreciate that, homie. I do, man. I appreciate that. For me, I really live like life just with my head down and staying on my grind, man. But to get love out here in the streets, man, it's always appreciated, homie. So thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So what we do around here, to open up every show, I tell the guests my favorite moment from their NBA career. And it's like bittersweet, right? The moment that I have is 2011 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 2. I'm a diehard Bulls fan. I got it tatted like it's forever, right? And in Game 2, you had a play, and you were like just coming back from injury, if I'm not mistaken. You blocked Derrick Rose, and then you went down for like a poster dunk. And not only was that just a big-time moment, it like shifted the whole momentum for the rest of the series. So that was my favorite moment for you, but like as a shorty 10 years ago, I'm like, man, I ain't really like it like that.
I mean, to be honest with you, to this day, they still don't like me in Chicago for that. You know what I'm saying? So that's nothing new. You know what I mean? But I remember that play. I had just came off injury, man, and at that time, I mean, Chicago was big in the paint. We talking about Boozer and my boy Joe Kim. Taj Gibson coming off the bench, and it was kind of pretty much bullying us down there. So I pretty much had to get back in that series, even though I was slightly injured, just to give us a little more muscle down there in the paint. And I was running off pure adrenaline that night, boy. I felt it the next day, though.
I've been trying to tell people, if it wasn't for running into y'all in 2011, the Bulls had a real chance. That was the year, because next year Derrick Rose got injured, but that was the year for us Bulls fans. And I keep reminding people, like, hey, we had like a 2-year run where the Bulls were actually really nice.
No, they had a squad. And we were threatened. Like, you know what I'm saying? There was no doubt about it. They had a squad and we were threatened. I think, if I'm not mistaken, if it might have been the next year or that same year, they were the team that broke our streak. We went on that long winning streak. I forget how many games it was.
I think it was 27.
27, yeah. After a while, it just got annoying. You know what I'm saying? It was all about the streak. But the Bulls was the team to break our streak.
Y'all heard it here, man. UD said it himself, so I ain't got to be the only one defending that era of the Bulls, because it was real. You heard it straight from UD.
It was real. They was loaded. They was a problem, for sure.
So I want to even go back way before that. Your official first year in the NBA. Of course, you go undrafted, you spend a year overseas, but that first year in the league, technically you're a rookie with Dwyane Wade. So what was your impression like with Wade when you first linked up?
Oh, man, my brother, he was quiet, man, and a little bit wet behind the ears. You know what I'm saying? I don't think, had not. Well, you be honest with you, anybody that come to Miami wet behind the ears, ain't too many places like the MIA. Ain't too many places like the Yayo. So, you know what I'm saying? It was a big city. So it was kind of like a deer in headlights type mentality. And for me, you know what I'm saying? I was from here. So we worked out every day. We spent so much time together. I mean, our days literally was waking up in the morning, going to the track, running at the track, to the gym, lifting weights on the court, working out on the court, go play pickup, eat lunch, go back to the gym at night. And we literally worked that schedule, you know what I'm saying, for 2 months, 3 months, or however long it was till the season started. And then we also relate on some personal levels. Both of our moms came through some struggles. His mom spent some time in jail. My mom spent some time recovering from drug addiction and homelessness and different things like that. So, we related and we bonded on a lot of different levels just beyond the game of basketball. And that's why we consider ourselves brothers.
He doing it great now, man. You said he was kind of wide-eyed and kind of shy. He on TV just doing his thing now.
Nah, he wide open with it. He wide open with it, man. He wide open with it. But that's one thing I always respected about him, and I tell him that, man. He's helped me. I think people as they're saying that you're only as good as the five people you hang around the most. You know what I'm saying? So he's definitely helped me get out of my comfort zone and touch other different areas of my life, business-wise and personally. You know what I'm saying? So for him to be able to do things like that, I watch that and I take those things, those nuggets, and I apply them.
I like to go through the history of NBA players. So when you end up in Miami, the year before that, I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. The Miami Heat they were trash, and then immediately y'all come in, y'all turn into a playoff team. So, I mean, I guess you weren't there for the previous season, but what was that ignition for y'all, for the team to go from, I think it was like 25 wins to instantly being the playoff team?
I mean, I was a fan. I was a fan of basketball, but it's hard to, it was, once again, you from Chicago, you a Chicago fan, it's hard to ignore that black cat. It's hard to ignore MJ, Rodman, Pip. So even though being from Miami, like, the light shined on the Bulls. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was hard to be like 100% Miami Heat fan. You know what I'm saying? If you're a real fan of the game of basketball, you tuning in anytime the Bulls lining up to play. You know what I'm saying? You watching that. You know what I'm saying? So, I like the Miami Heat, but I wasn't real familiar with a lot of the history. A lot of people don't know that Tim James, who was the original first player from Miami to play for the Miami Heat, wore number 40. So, even though I consider myself Mr. Miami, there's a guy that came before me from Miami, from my hood, Liberty City, that wore number 40, played for University of Miami, and he wore number 40 for the Miami Heat. So I represent him as well as my father. So, the history, of the Miami Heat, it's a lot of different things, just me being tied to Miami more so than just the history of the Miami Heat, because it was hard to be a fan of the Heat. They came late, they started late, and different things like that.
Who was your vet that first year in Miami?
Brian Grant.
Brian
Grant was my vet, man. BG was a great vet, man. Hard worker. A guy similar to myself, undersized power forward. You know what I'm saying? Had to get it off the muscle. You know what I'm saying? Every day he had to come to work with his hard hat on and get it done. Also,
Right.
Eddie Jones, man. Shout out to Eddie Jones, man, a South Florida legend. You know what I'm saying? Who was another guy who's from South Florida, not technically Miami, but he's from South Florida. So, he teaching me how to move, like kind of close to where you grew up from. How you move out here.
Right.
It's different when you playing ball in the city where you came up.
People forget that Eddie was like a 2-3 time NBA All-Star, man. Like, he was really about
He
it.
was a real deal, and I think he was also one of the top defensive players. Like first team defense, second team defense. He was definitely one of the guys that you consider a lockdown guy. When he got traded for Kobe, you know what I'm saying? God bless the dead. The great Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Eddie got traded for Kobe. You know what I'm saying? So he was definitely a hell of a ball player.
So he got traded for Kobe, but y'all did a little thing right after your rookie season when y'all made a trade for Shaq. Big Diesel coming to Miami, and that's when things started to get real, right? I mean, y'all were a playoff team, and now you added one of the most dominant players in the history of basketball. So what was your initial reaction after that trade?
I mean, that's when it's championship expectations off the rip. You know what I'm saying? When Shaq came in, there was championship expectations. And for me, you know what I'm saying, I think everybody was excited about it. But for me, it was more criticism that came with Shaq coming to Miami. Can Haslem play next to Shaq? Can he hold his own next to the big fella? It was even weird little article saying Shaq has never played with a power forward under 6'10". You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? What the hell that got to do with it? Like, if I could get it done, I could get it done. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was a lot of criticism because I really didn't have a name at that time, and people was wondering, can I get it done next to the big fella? So, he helped me step my game up. You know what I'm saying? I had to step my game up. You coming in here with a champion, there's championship expectations.
So you just mentioned something, kind of like the media. You said there was articles being written. I've always wondered when it comes to NBA players, how much y'all pay attention to this stuff, because I'm kind of in that world. I mean, I'm not writing articles, but social media is so big that everybody has a platform. Everybody has an opinion about what y'all are doing on court. So how much are you really paying attention to that stuff?
I mean, I don't pay attention to a lot of it, but some of it I can use as motivation. You know what I'm saying? Some of it I do use as motivation, and I got a memory like an elephant. I don't forget nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? If you motivated me 10 years ago, chances are I'm probably still motivated by your ass today. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just how I am. You know what I'm saying? It's in my DNA. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely know how to pick and choose my moments of what to listen to or what not to listen to and what to use as motivation.
I want to go back to post-Shaq or the Shaq era of Miami because y'all fall short that first year, right? I think it was against Detroit where y'all go Game 7, Eastern Conference. And I don't remember, so I'm going to ask you, there was a game in that series that Wade didn't play, right?
Yeah.
What was going on with Wade?
He hurt his ribs. He hurt his ribs. I think he had a cracked rib or, something like that, and he definitely didn't play. And that definitely shifted the series for us. That was already a difficult series. You talk about, man, Detroit were loaded in too. They had their run. They had Rip, had Chauncey, they had Sheed, they had Ben. You know what I mean? They had McDyess. I mean, I think they had Corliss with. They had their run now. They was loaded,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, for a while. So, I mean, we needed all hands on deck, you know what I mean? So when D-Wade went out, I think he was averaging about 30 that series. I think he went out maybe game 4. And I think we might have lost it in 6. We lost the last 2 without him, I think.
Well, so y'all lose there, but next year y'all get even deeper. Y'all made a couple trades, man. It's like this team about that
Big
stuff.
moves.
What was it? Antoine came over.
Antoine
GP
Walker came over. Posey came over. We picked up
Posey,
GP.
man.
Jason Williams, White
Jason
Chocolate came in the
Williams.
building. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we definitely switched it up a little bit.
And then you get to the finals, and then Wade is like Superman, averaging like 35. Like they had no answer for him at all.
Unstoppable. I mean, I think it was not too long ago. It was around the pandemic time where they were showing a lot of old games and a lot of old footage, and I had the opportunity to sit back and watch that game from a different perspective. Because for me, I don't even watch old games. One thing about me is I do not watch old games. I barely watch the new games. I ain't really too much watching the games that's played right now. I get the critiquing, coaching, breaking it down, and then it become work. It's not even enjoyable no more. So I barely even watch the games. But I was just watching that game, and I just texted Wade, and I was like, "Boy, you was on one. You was on one that night. You was on one for sure."
So you get the first one for Miami, of course, with you being there. What did it mean for you in the city to get that first ring?
I mean, it was the first time in my career personally that I was able to just exhale and felt like I had that monkey off my back for a second because, I was a guy that was always behind the 8 ball. People didn't give much of an opportunity. Wasn't much expected from me. And then remember going into that finals, I mean, Dirk had a trail of bodies all the way to the finals. Like, he was on a run. Like, it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So people didn't give me much of a chance to even compete, in that series against Dirk. So, the way I was able to play and defend and do the things that I was able to do in that series, it really catapulted my career, to the stage that I'm at now.
Ain't no stopping me when you know that I call game.
So there are a few things that we really love over here, Call Game the Show. We love hoops. That's why we have you here. But in the culture of basketball, we got like sports cards and sneakers. Are you into sports cards?
Yeah, I got some sports cards. What you mean? I'm a Dolphin fan.
Oh, okay. I feel you. So what would you say is your like prized possession when it comes to the sports cards? What you got?
My father-in-law gave me a Dan Marino rookie card.
I knew you was about to say it. I swear I knew you were about to say that.
My father-in-law gave me a Dan Marino rookie card. I just ordered the little plastic package not too long ago, and I got it cemented. I got it locked in. That ain't going nowhere.
I got 2 packs of NBA cards because that's what we're about. I'm going to open these, read you the names, and let's just talk about some of these players if that's cool with you.
For sure.
All right, back. So these the ones we opening are 2019, 2020. So you never know. We might get some of your current teammates, former teammates. There's a lot of stuff that can happen. So the first player,
here we go.
We got Jaren Jackson Jr. of the Memphis Grizzlies. Young guy.
A CAA client. Shout out to the CAA family.
Hey, shout out to the family. Josh Okogie. Then we got Karl Malone, one of the greatest to ever do it at the power forward position, man.
Oh, okay. So you want me to start from the top?
Last one we got in this pack is Denzel Valentine. So it's kind of what we want to do is potentially like build a starting 5 because I got 2 packs here.
Okay.
So that's the first 4. You know we dealing with Karl Malone at that 4 position though. Ain't nobody taking that spot.
Man, I can't. Yeah, that's already locked in. Yeah, that's it. The mailman. He definitely gonna deliver.
The last 4 is Reggie Jackson. Then we got Emmanuel Mudiay, Bruno Fernando, and Kevin Knox. These 2 packs gave us a lot of young players in the NBA for real.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got Karl Malone. That's like instantly we're a playoff team.
We're going Karl Malone.
Yeah. I mean, we could probably run him and Jaren together. They both.
Oh yeah, we definitely doing that. That was already in my game plan.
At the
my
one
game plan. What our guards looking like again?
We got Reggie Jackson and Emmanuel Mudiay.
I'm gonna go Reggie.
Got to start Reggie. I think we got to start Reggie. Now we got to figure out
Reggie
those.
with that one.
Let's figure out these wings, man. So we got Denzel Valentine from my Bulls. We got Kevin Knox, and then we got Josh Okogie, man. That's a lot of young players right there. We might.
I'm gonna go Okogie. I'm gonna go a little toughness, a little defense.
Okay, so we got the defense, and then
I'm
the
gonna
last
go a little
swing
toughness,
spot.
a little defense, but can make a shot though. He ain't scared. He make a shot.
Let's throw Kevin Knox at the 3, and then that's our starting 5 right there. We got Reggie Jackson.
I was trying not to pick no Knicks players, but if you're gonna make me pick a Knicks player, then I guess.
Hey, what's up? You know, I just picked him because he can shoot, but Denzel Valentine got a torch too.
I was trying not to pick no Knicks players, but I guess.
You know what? We gonna switch out for Denzel since he a part of my favorite team. You feel me? So we got Reggie, we got Josh Okogie, we got Denzel, Jaren Jackson Jr., Karl Malone. It could be better. I'm keeping it a buck. It could be better.
It could. I mean, I'm with you on that Knox thing. We could go with Knox. You know, I'm just kidding. We're gonna go with Knox.
You know where you can find the rarest cards and latest box drops? eBay, a one-stop shop for buyers and sellers. Check the episode description below for more on what eBay is rolling out. All right, let's get back to the next part of our interview here, because you guys transitioned from the era of Wade, Shaq, and then there's a little period where y'all still competitive doing y'all thing, but then we get to the Heatle era, man. So where were you when you found out that the Heatles was about to be a thing?
I mean, I was almost not even a part of the Heatles. You know, it's a lot of players and it's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So the money wasn't adding up. You know what I mean? So I was always not a part of the Heatles situation. You know, it was my brother D Wade that understood, you know, the importance of having me a part of something like that, and that I would deliver, and that those guys could depend on me to get the job done. So, you know, for me, I was actually headed down to the arena to have a conversation with Riley and basically just let him know that, you know, I thank you guys for the opportunity when nobody believed, but. You know, it was a 1 year minimum contract, and then the next year was going to be some different. But you know, at that time, I was in the prime of my career. It just wasn't a smart decision.
Right.
As I'm pulling into the arena, I just get a call from my agent. You know, the late great Henry Thomas, who just said, you know, before you go in the office to talk to Riles, just give me a second. So I just sat in the car for a little while, and I got a call like 20 minutes later. You know, and they called me and they said, okay, we got a deal for you. You know, it's not as much as, you know, the other deals on the table, but, you know, it's something, man. For me, it was a huge sacrifice. It was $20 million less than the other deals I had. I had $40 million deals at that time. I took a $20 million deal with the Heat, you know, and you know, that kind of is the reason why, you know, you look at the situation I'm in now, you know what I'm saying, and the loyalty that I have with the Heat because I sacrificed the way I have.
What did that loyalty come from? Because, I mean, you weren't here for it, but when I introduced the show, I said you was one of the last OGs, man. So where did that loyalty, I mean, I guess it's not just to the Heat, but to the city of Miami in general.
Yeah, that's where it come from. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the way I was raised, how I grew up, you know, my family, you know, we always looked out for each other. We always took care of each other. You know, we was always that family where we didn't have much, but whatever we had, we shared it. You know what I mean? The culture that I have, you know, with the Miami Heat, it's just the culture that I had in high school. You know, I played for the great Frank Martin, you know what I mean, who's the head coach at South Carolina. You know, shout out the late, great Shaky Rodriguez, who's a Miami legend, you know what I'm saying, in Miami High, you know, from about 89 to 98. You know what I mean? We ran off 9 straight state championships, you know. So legacy, culture, I've been a part of that, you know what I mean, starting back in high school.
Was there pressure from you guys as a team? Because LeBron, Bosh comes over, y'all do the big press conference, not 1, not 2, not 3, and then now everybody looking at y'all with a target on y'all back. Did y'all feel that pressure in the locker room?
Mm-hmm. Well, no pressure on us. We was the little 12. The pressure was on them. They was the big 3. We had the big 3. We had 15 players. They was the big 3. We was the little 12. They had all the pressure. We just had to do our jobs.
Yeah. So we talked about the Eastern Conference Finals with the Bulls, but in that same year, y'all get to the finals in that first year, and y'all come up short. And a lot of people kind of use it when they having the GOAT debate. You know, everybody want to talk about the GOAT debate. They use that 2011 series against Dallas as like the big asterisk on LeBron. So after y'all lose that series, what is the locker room like? Because I think y'all went into it as the favorite, and y'all come up short.
I mean, it's heartbroken. It's sad. You know, you come that far, put that much work in, and you get that close and you don't get it done. It was a difficult time for all of us. It was a difficult summer for all of us. And I think all of us kind of checked out and went in the lab, you know, a little bit, especially LeBron. You know, he came back the next year on a mission, you know, a completely different ball player. And I think we all did. You know, we all, you know, took that pretty hard and understood that this next season we had to win it. There was no ifs, ands, and buts about it.
Right. I feel like as the NBA fans, and NBA people in general learned a lot from that 2011 Heat team. Because people automatically thought, man, y'all got 3 of the best players of all time and this great core of, like you said the other 12. But it ain't
Little
just
12,
about the names.
little 12.
Little 12.
The little 12.
It ain't
Yeah,
just
we gotta
about
get
the
that
names. It ain't just about the names, you know what I'm saying? It's about chemistry and things like that. So after that, we saw a couple different super teams kind of form together and fall short because it is just more than just having the biggest names on your team.
Oh yeah, you definitely need chemistry. You need culture. You need true sacrifice. I mean, sacrifice and accountability is a foreign language nowadays. You know what I mean? So, everybody wants to have somebody sacrifice or be accountable until it's their turn. You know what I'm saying? Then it's like, whoa, hold up. So, you need true sacrifice. When you got a guy like Ray Allen, who's, one of the greatest shooters to ever play this game, is going to be a Hall of Famer that's, coming off the bench and only playing maybe 20 minutes. Some nights not even playing that much. You know what I'm saying? Only getting a certain amount of shots. You had a guy like myself who's a leading rebounder in the organization, and, it was nice that, I didn't get any minutes. You know what I'm saying? So it was hard and it was tough and it was true sacrifice. But at the end, the ultimate goal was to get those rings, and we got that done.
So y'all get that next year. Y'all come back. You said y'all was in the lab and it showed because y'all got that championship. And y'all went against, I think everybody, no disrespect here, I think everybody was rooting for OKC because they were so young Westbrook, young James, young KD. Y'all come out and win that one. But when you were watching them, did you see, oh snap, they got 3 future MVPs on their team?
I mean, they were exciting. They had a lot of energy. And they were young. Don't forget Serge Ibaka.
Serge, yep.
They were loaded and they were excited. And I think we understood that if we made it a pickup game and just try to run up and down and outscore them, that we was gonna be in trouble. The advantage that we had, collectively was our defense. You know what I'm saying? So it was the weirdest thing in the world. But after we lost game 1 in OKC, we actually walked in the locker room and said, "Oh yeah, we got this." It was weird because we lost the game. We lost game 1 at OKC, and we walked in the locker room and said, "Nah, we got this. We good." There was no panicking. There was no frustration. We all understood we should have won, and we ended up winning our 4 in a row.
Wow, yeah. So in that game, did y'all just see the small things that y'all needed to tweak, to win the rest?
I mean, as a basketball player, you understand when you let opportunity slip through your hands, and we felt like we let the opportunity slip through our hands. We for whatever reason, we just didn't have it that night. You know what I'm saying? But we knew we could be better, and we knew we would be better.
So y'all get that championship against OKC, and then y'all on cruise control for the next season. We mentioned it earlier, 27 straight wins, did into my Bulls, but 27 straight wins, get to the finals. And then now y'all going against the Spurs, who are just, one of the most legendary franchises of all time, and the shot happened. What was your thought? Because at one point y'all were down by 5 or 20 seconds to go. The fans are leaving because they don't want to see another team celebrate on their home court. And then Ray Allen hit the shot. What is your thoughts when that shot goes up and in?
I mean, I just went crazy. I just went ecstatic. I was on the bench at that time, and the angle that I had, I was able to see, directly across from when Ray let it go. The trajectory of it, the angle. I had probably the best view of anybody, so I knew it was going down. That drill, Ray backpedaling to get behind the three-point line and getting shots up at an instance like that. He practices that drill. I've seen him laying down, jump up off the ground, run behind the line and shoot a 3. That's not realistic in a game, but, that's just his mindset of over-exaggerating those type of situations. So he's done that 1,000 times.
This is so. It was like a movie, it was like a movie, because me as a fan watching, I'm thinking it's over with. I'm thinking the series is over, and it's a little bit of luck involved, but obviously a lot of skill because Tim Duncan is not on the court because Greg Popovich decides to let him sit, and then Chris Bosh just finds the ball. It's like I feel like I can watch that play over and over and over and still get chills and goosebumps because it was second, third biggest shot in NBA history.
I mean, when you're dealing with 2 great teams and 2 great coaches, the degree of difficulty and just the opportunity for, mistakes and different things like that is so small. It's so small, and it could be anything that could just be the deciding factor in the game.
So the year after that is the last year of the Heatles era. After y'all lose that championship, did you feel it okay, I think that Bron is probably going here? I guess Bosh stayed around, but then he had the complications with his health. But did you feel like that was the end of the era?
Man, you know what? I didn't know. You know, I was one of those things where, you know, I tried not to think about it because it was something that was out of my control. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So I really tried to focus on the things I could control, which was my health and, you know, my situation as far as coming back with the Miami Heat. So I really didn't know. I would have loved for Bron to come back. Of course, you want to play with Bron, you know, for the rest of your career. But, you know, I really didn't focus much on it because I understood that, you know what I'm saying, it was his decision. There was nothing I could do about it. And if I had the opportunity to go back home, you know, to my city and take a championship, clearly you see what I've done in my city. So you know what my decision probably would have been.
I feel you. I feel you. What's your relationship with Bron like nowadays?
Oh, that's my dog. That's my dog.
Yeah.
We still talk, you know what I'm saying? We still text and, you know, keep up with each other's families, kids. You know, we grabbed dinner when I was out there in LA. That's my dog.
Ain't no stopping me when you know that I call gang.
So we mentioned sports cards, and we also mentioned sneakers. It's that time to get into some sneakers talk, man. I'm guessing you into sneakers, right? At least a little bit?
Well, I got a lean-in contract, so, you know, I'm limited on, you know, what the sneaker game.
Oh,
what I can
don't
do for
worry.
myself in the sneaker
We
game.
know. We know. Because I know you can see me right now. We got a pair of Li-Nings here. What made you pick Li-Ning?
I mean, my brother Wade, obviously,
Right.
you know, he had a vision and he believed in it. And, you know, at that time, you know, I was with Converse and, you know, my shoe deal was up and, you know, I believed in his vision and what he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's an old Trick Daddy verse to say, right or wrong, take sides for your dog, ride with your dog. So I just roll with my dog, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To me, just put something on my feet that's comfortable and I'm going to get it done. So it wasn't really about
Facts.
the name for me. It was about just the support of my homeboy.
And they making some moves, man. Of course, got Wade, got you. They got D'Angelo Russell now. So we seeing more and more Li-Ning on the courts.
Well.
For sure.
They've done well. Billion-dollar company in China, man.
I didn't even know that. See, that's brand new information.
Mr. Li-Ning, Mr. Li-Ning got it. Mr. Li-Ning got it.
These are fire. One of my favorite Li-Nings is the Dwyane Wade 7s. It's like a mustard one. And like you said, when it comes to hooping, as long as my feet feel comfortable, I'm good. And that's like one of the most comfortable shoe of all time to me. Like I've tried a lot of different sneakers, and they up there.
They make very comfortable shoes. Very comfortable shoes. I think anybody will tell you that even playing other shoes, that if you playing a pair of Li-Nings, it's like playing on pillows. They make very comfortable shoes. They definitely take the time out to, you know what I'm saying, not just put some on your feet that look good and tear up. They take the time out to put some on your feet that's going to protect you and it feels good, you know what I'm saying? And that's just not coming from me. That's coming from our training staff who very particular about what guys put on their feet.
See, if you were here right now, we'd have you sign these so we could potentially sell them, give them away on eBay. Next time, whenever you back in LA, man, next time, we'll get you through the studio.
I'll be out there this summer.
Okay.
I'll be out there this summer.
All right.
Family out there.
Bet it up. So the last thing we want from you before you head out, because I know you're a very busy man, is since the name of the show is called Game. So my last question to you, if the game is on the line, who do you pass the ball to shoot the final shot to call game?
D-Wade.
Is Wade your brother, huh?
Yeah. Not just because he's my brother now, because I look my brother off if his ass can't shoot. I look my brother off if he can't shoot, but you know what I'm saying? The body of work speaks for itself. My brother, you know what I'm saying? The body of work speaks for itself. He clutch. Even when he came back and he was old. The shot he made against Golden State when he bobbled it and threw it off his chest and it went in. Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? He clutch. You know what I'm saying? I give credit where credit due.
That's a good pick.
He was old then. He ain't supposed to be doing stuff like that.
That's one of the craziest shots. Is that the one he hit it? Of course, he bobbled it. I think it was Steph Curry guarding him. He bobbled it. Boom.
Yeah, he was better shooter. I think somebody either blocked it or it came down his chest and he just threw it back up and went in. We won the game, man. The man, that was crazy. He clutched.
And I think he jumped on the scorer's table.
He jumped on the score table like he do that all the time. Like he meant to make that shot. Man had his eyes closed.
So we just had Udonis Haslem on the show. First of all, UD, thank you for coming through. We asked him the age-old question, with the game on the line, who do you give the ball to? And he showed love to one of my favorite players of all time, Chicago legend, Miami Heat legend, and he only played for the Heat, ladies and gentlemen. Those other years don't exist. Dwyane Wade, getting a lot of love from his brother, UD. And this is who Udonis picks to call game. Hey, UD, man, we appreciate you coming onto the show, bro. If there's anything you want to say to the people at home.
I'll be out there in LA, maybe we can link up and I can sign them.
Say less. Say less. For everybody at home, we appreciate you watching this episode of Call Game, and we'll be back next week. Peace.